Hi everyone, and welcome to this video about English 10 journals. Now, journals are going to be one of the main things that you're going to be doing every single week for homework in English 10 class. And the way that you're going to find these is that you're going to click on the weeks folder, as you see on my screen over here. So next week would be week 2, and then you will find the journal number right there. So next week will be the first of our journals, journal number 1. So I wanted to just talk through some of the journal overviews before we actually got into the journal writing though. So the purpose of a journal is really so that way you could capture some of your ideas and be able to talk almost like having a one-on-one conversation with your English 10 teacher. This is one of our main ways where we are going to be communicating with you about academics, about just general what's happening in your life, and everything that you write in your journal is always going to stay private between you and the teacher. None of your journals will ever be posted online, and none of them will ever be shared with another student unless you want that and unless that's something that you're trying to go for. So what exactly should your journal look like? That's kind of one of the main sections of this. If you want, you can do your journal completely on Buzz, meaning you can just click on the module and then you can just type out your journal entry right there. However, if you're the kind of person where you like to handwrite your journal, or if you like to keep your journal in a different document, like on Google Docs, you can always post up a picture of your handwritten journal, or you can also copy and paste your journal information from a different document into Buzz. That is also an option as well. Now, if you choose to create a different document and you want to share a document with your teacher, it's going to be important that you also share that not only on Buzz, but you also share the permissions with your teacher as well. So this sheet that I'm going through right now is going to have a ton of different ideas and a ton of different strategies that you might decide to use when you're writing your own journal. I know one of the big issues when I'm writing journals is that sometimes I literally just don't know where to start. Like, I go down to the page and I'm just staring at a blank page, whether that be a blank page of paper or a blank page on my screen. A lot of times I just don't know what exactly I should be putting, like what kind of thoughts I should be putting into my journal, which is weird because a journal is a journal. Like, you can put whatever thoughts you want. And if you want to talk about, I don't know, dogs and cats in your journal, I mean, you can talk about dogs and cats in your journal. Obviously, still try to answer the prompt, but maybe you can try to swing it and talk about dogs and cats if you really want to. So on this page, there are going to be a lot of different techniques that you can use in case you get stuck. I think one of my different ways of doing a technique is just doing a free write. So like, not even worrying about the structure or the grammar or the spelling or anything, like just completely doing a free write. Now, when you do this for your journal, make sure that you still go back through and that you're still, fixing up the grammar, fixing up the spelling before you turn it in. Because as English teachers, we want to see your best writing and we want to help you to improve your writing. So if you turn something into us that has a lot of errors on it, it's going to make it a little bit harder for us to know what you really need to practice. Another thing that I also like to do is I love doing clustering, mapping, and webbing. This is probably one of the things that I do the most in my life, where I get a blank piece of paper or I get a blank document and I literally just, kind of like create a mind map or create different ideas that are all branching off from each other. This is a very good way of organizing your thoughts when you feel like there's just so much going on in your head and you can't figure out what to put down on the page. So in terms of how long your journal entries should be, we're advising that you try to aim for about a page double spaced. Not a page single spaced, but about a page double spaced. And for those of you who are just working off word counts, this will be somewhere between 150 to 250 words. That'll be the rough area of where we want you to hit for journals. And yes, your teacher will be reading your journals and we will be also responding to a lot of your journals as well. So again, these are kind of like personal conversations you're having with your teacher, which is something that unfortunately in the virtual world, we don't get to do these in person anymore. But these, for me as an English teacher, this was one of my favorite things, is just having conversations with a student. So again, you're just going to want to submit your journals onto Buzz. And again, you can do this either by taking a picture of your handwritten journal, or you can also just type directly into Buzz and submit it that way. If you do the Google Doc route, make sure that you just copy and paste everything from your Google Doc into Buzz, and then we'll be able to read your journal. So that about does it for the journal entries. It looks like, let's see, if I go back, we can even take a look at what this week's journal entry is about. So this week's journal entry is about the Grief and Lament playlist, so kind of an exciting one in my opinion. I won't go through all of the background and all of the information because you'll be able to do that on your own, but basically the idea of it is selecting 5 songs that you want to put on a grief playlist, like something that you kind of listen to when you're a little bit down, and it can either make you feel more down or it can bring you up a little bit. I'm the kind of person where when I'm sad, I like to listen to sad music. So a lot of my songs are probably going to have sadder songs on it. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your English 10 teacher or drop into an ASR. I hope this video was helpful, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.